Thank you. Thank you very, very much for giving me this great opportunity to share some of my thoughts and ideas. Well, 16 years ago, we got a group of 18 young people. We collected altogether $50,000 US in my apartment. We had a dream that someday internet is going to change our lives and change the business. So without knowing anything about what is the internet really about, without knowing the world is that complicated, we start our journey. I called myself like a blind man riding on the back of a blind tigers. After made so many mistakes, after we have made so many failures and frustrations, we survived. So people keep on asking us, what's the secret sauce for you guys to survive? Why you are so successful? First, let me say we are not that much successful yet. But people keep on saying, why? Why in China? Why Alibaba? Why Jack Ma? The person, not good looking and no strong background, no money. Why it is you? Let me share some of the data, some of the things, the points, which I think these might be the secret sauce for our success. The first, young people. We grow from 18 people to 34,000 people now. The average age of our company is 27 years old. And the other thing is 49% of the management of our company are born in 1970s. And 50% of the management of our company are born in 1980s. And we have 3,000 young people who were born in 1990s joined us last year. So it's about young people. And second, women. We have 34% of the senior management of the company are women. I never realized that before we IPO, there's an American journalist to come to my office and say, Jack, why I saw so many women in your company? I say, what's wrong? Because I did not realize that we had that many women. We have a woman CEO, woman COO, woman president, woman chief people officer. We think women are so important in our company. And we have 48% of the employees in our company are women. Well, we could have 56%, but because we acquired some companies, there are more men there. The reason why women can do so good on the internet at time is because they can make user-friendliness. They make our site so easy. And, since I know nothing about a computer, the thing, like 80% of the people in the world, we would love to have the new technology, but we are scared of the new technology. One of the secret things I want to say is that we have to make our technology easy, simple enough that those 80% of people scared of technology can use it. And women are the main force make that things happen. And women are very important. They listen. Not like a man said, you listen to me. Women say, what do you want? We change. And the third thing that think the secret sauce is that we always help the small business. Not like the 15 years ago, the e-commerce in American status is always making money for the big companies, to do e-commerce for big companies. And I think in China, we don't have a lot of big companies. And big companies do not need us. Big companies are usually SOE, the state-owned business, government take care of them. Multinational companies, money capital take good care of them. But only small business, nobody take good care of them. So we decided that we will be a company of the small, by the small, and for the small. And we believe the small is beautiful. So these are the things that we've been keep on in our mind. And we think companies should always keep small. Today, we have 34,000 people. By this year, if we're lucky enough, we'll be bigger than Walmart Global. Our sales, our GMV, will go across Walmart globally in 16 years. And we think the day when we go across bigger than Walmart, we will less than 50,000 people. But Walmart achieved that kind of GMV or sales by 2.3 million people. So this is innovation. This is the technology. This is how we can work with the small business. And the fourth, very interesting, is that we grow together with China. And people say, wow, China has a big market. China has this and China has that. But we benefit from China because China's lack of the good environment of doing business. We do a lot of things because China's lack of the good infrastructure of business. We don't have a trust. People challenge me a lot to say, why you can't do e-commerce in China? People love to have a guanxi, you have a government relationship and this and that. But I think sometimes a poor infrastructure may be a great chance for a company like us. Why e-commerce in China grow faster than the United States? Because in the USA, the infrastructure of commerce is so good. So e-commerce is just a supplementary to the main business of the USA. Just as I say, e-commerce is a dessert in America. But in China, because the infrastructure is so bad, e-commerce become the main course. So sometimes we have to think differently. Many bad things may be good things in the future. So people also ask us, what do you worry about? What can you keep you awake in the evening? What do you talk about every day? What we worry about is that because our mission, one of our vision is that we want to be a company that can last 102 years. People say, why 102 years? In Asia, in China, every company wants to last 100 years. And then the last 100 years is just like a slogan. Nobody take it seriously. We think we were born in 1999. So last century, we had 1 year. This century, we had 100 years. Next century, we have 1 year. 102 years will cross 3 centuries. This is simple and accurate number to any employees. So how we can survive for next 86 years? This is something that we worried about. And we worry about is that today we are very good, but very few internet companies can be prosperous, can be successful for more than 3 years. Why we can survive and keep healthy and prosperous for another 30 years? That is something worried about me all the time. So we say, the first thing if you want to survive for next 30 years is to solve the social problems. We try to create jobs. We believe that new technology will not kill jobs. New technology will create more jobs. People worry about the internet. People worry about this and that. But in China, our company has created more than 14 million direct, indirect jobs for China. And we think every revolution of technology create more skilled jobs and create more knowledge-based jobs. And this world need more skillful jobs and knowledge-based jobs. And the second is that rejuvenate the economy. We believe that the economy should be organized and it should be formed by the small business. Yes, the world is influenced by big companies, but the world is formed by the small business. 80% of the business are small. If we can enable the small business by the technology we have, by the ideas, by innovation, by dreams, I think the world is going to be much healthier and the innovation will be more exciting. And the third, we worry about the environment and we worry about the health. The world treated us well, but we did not treat the environment fairly. So we think we should use technology, using the data to solve the environment and health problems. So this is what we believe. Create jobs, rejuvenate the economy by helping small business, and solve the environment problems and health problems. These are the key directions we're going forward. And then people keep on asking us when they say, Jack, you're doing pretty good on e-commerce. Why you invest here and there? Many of our investors say, we never understand why you invest here and there. Because I said, we are pretty confident for what we are doing in the next 3-5 years. But we have to prepare for 10, 20 years later. What are the things that 10, 20 years later we can solve the social problems? The fourth, which I want to hear to say that the world is going to have a big change in next 30 years. The human being have 3 wonderful technology revolution. The first technology revolution, which I call the STEAM in the UK, and that released the human's arm because people want to be stronger. The second technology revolution is called energy. People, they try to empower their leg. They want to be long and far. And this information technology, which I called data technology, is going to release your brain. It's making sure you're more creative, making sure the world is changed by creation, by innovation. So, in the past 20 years, I believe great IT companies like Microsoft, IBM, Cisco, Oracle, these wonderful companies, they laid a good foundation for us. And I also believe in the past 20 years, Internet laid a good foundation. But these are only foundation for the future. We have to think about how we can leverage these foundations and making sure we are in the next 30 years, we change the world. I think the first revolution of technology took 50 years to jump up. The second technology revolution, another 50 years. And this revolution of information technology and data technology will also have 50 years. Though Internet has finished the past 20 years, we have another 30 years wonderful time ahead of us. And I think people probably have to remember one thing. A lot of people don't understand what is IT. Now we are moving faster and quickly into the time which I called DT, data technology. IT and the DT, the difference is not about technology. It's about the way you think, about the way how you imagine and look the world. IT is to enable the control of yourself. IT is to empower yourself. IT is the power. IT represents B2C. And IT is to manufacture. But DT is do the opposite. Data technology is enable others, making sure your customer is better, making sure your employee is better, making sure your people are better. And DT represents C2B. In the past 10, 20 years, the world is B2C. The next 30 years, the world will be C2B. All the consumer should be the center, and the business should be tailor-made for consumers. And DT enables transparency, DT enables share, DT enables responsibility. And DT will also prove one thing, that wisdom, knowledge, courage are as powerful as muscles. So DT time, we are going to see a lot of women leaders in this century. And women like President of Park and German Chancellor, they will be the new leaders of this century. And I'm confident that, and I'm happy that. So I've got 49% of the women. And the second, the other thing we have to remember, that in the future, the machine will not only produce products, the machine will think, machine will talk, machine will self-improve, and machine will make things different. So we all have to worry about the computer will destroy people, or people will control computers. I always believe one thing. People are much smarter than computers, although computer can do a lot of things. So whether you like it or not, whether you are happy, upset or not, in next 30 years, the world is going to be changing a lot. It's going to be more fantastic. And one thing for sure, that next 30 years, you are not competing with other companies. You are competing with the next generation. Next 30 years, those people who were born in 1990s, those people who were born in 2000, these are the generation. They breathe, they take, they were born on the internet. For them, internet is a part of their lives. And not like us. We were born in the newspaper, we were born in the radio, we were born on the TV. The difference between internet and these media, because the young people want to be more interactive. They want to be part of it. They want to be part of the world, not to be controlled by the world. And one of the reasons why Taobao, Tmall, Alibaba grows so fast, because our users, 70% of our users are those people who are only 20 and 30 years old. We know 10 years ago, it's so difficult to convince those people who are 40 years ago, because those people who are 40 years old, they are successful people. To convince a successful people is very, very difficult. So try to help those people who will be successful tomorrow, who are ready to change themselves, who want the future. So this is what I feel excited about. And I think for this generation, for the next generation, we should always try to have the hope of the young people. Help the young people, help ourselves. Those young people, those innovations, they are tiny, they are small here today. But they were big, and trust of them, and supported them, and work with them. Especially, the small is beautiful. The world in the past 40, 50 years, controlled by big companies. And I believe the world will be much better if this world is driven by the small business. And I think they're small, but they're young, and they have dreams. And we will have problems, this problem and that problem. And I have a confidence that as my father, my mother, my family and the friends have said, Jack, don't go on the internet, because we have never heard about this 15 years ago in my apartment. And I invited 24 of my friends to my apartment and say, we are going to do the internet. 23 of them against it, because they say, wow, you have to worry this, you have to worry that. I believe human being can always find solutions for all the problems. There is always more solutions than problems. So young boys, entrepreneurs, I have one thing to share with you, that this is my philosophy of life. Today is difficult. Tomorrow is much more difficult, but the day after tomorrow is more beautiful. Most people die tomorrow evening. You have to work very hard. And if you want to realize your dreams, you should have your dream first. So this is my hope, and I want to share with all of you here if you want to be another success like a Google, Amazon, eBay, and Alibaba. Thank you very, very much. 감사합니다. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your speech, Mr. Ma. It was very inspiring, and I enjoyed it a lot too. All right. Now that we have about approximately 15 minutes, I'd like to invite a couple of questions from the floor. If you have a question to Mr. Ma, and I'm positive there are some, please raise your hand. Then one of our staff members will hand you a microphone. Before asking a question, please state your name and your affiliation. Due to the limitation of time, we'll take 3 questions only. Are there any questions? Question? Yes?
Hello, I'm Rupert Huja from the Huron Report in China. I'm very interested in your philanthropy, and I've seen that when you did your IPO, you took some shares from your listed company and put it into a foundation. And I'm very interested to see what are your plans with your philanthropy. Is this the beginning that you can do a little bit, or are you going to turn it into something like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. Well, I was born in a poor family. And the first year when I graduated from university, I worked for 6 years in the university. For the first 3 years, my pay was $10 to $15 a month. I never thought I would be that rich. And I've been thinking that for a long, long time. I asked my wife when I started the business for Alibaba, do you want your husband to be the richest person of China, of this city, or to be a respected business people? My wife said, of course respected, because you will never be a rich person. Well, I don't think I will be rich. And today I think the money I have, this is not the money I have. This is the trust of people on you. People trust Jack and his team and Alibaba can manage the money better than most of the other people, or maybe better than government. So they gave billions of dollars in my pocket. They wanted me to spend the money better. So this is my philosophy, and I think if I think this is my money, I will be in trouble. I will never be that lucky. So to keep your luck, in the past 16 years, I am, together with my team, we are the luckiest people in China, in the world. If we want to keep the luck, bury the luck into the others, making sure the other people share the luck, and the luck will be back. So I donate the money. This is a small beginning. And I said, this is not my money. I want to learn. But Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, I think they're great. They donate all the money. And I asked Warren Buffett, you can donate money to Bill Gates. Who should I donate money to? I should have found somebody in China that built up the infrastructure. We are lack of the infrastructure of philanthropy and charity. So my foundation will be focused on environment. I worry about the air, I worry about the water in China. Because we work so hard, we don't want 10, 20 years later, the money will spend on curing our disease, cancers, lung cancers, stomach cancers. So the money will be on the environment protection. The second will be education. I was trained to be a high school teacher, but after teaching for 6 years, I become a business people. I feel regret and sorry for the training me as a teacher. So I would love to spend more money helping others to be a good teachers because education is so important. And the third is health. I think health, we should prepare for it. The terrible air, the terrible water is going to cause our problem, whether you like it, don't like it. So we have to spend money on that, have a good health condition that can prepare the future. And the fourth, very important, answer your questions. I think 10, 20 years later, more and more people in China will be rich, and they will share their property, they will share their money to the society. We should build up an infrastructure. We should train more people how to manage this money properly. So I would spend more money developing the infrastructure of the philanthropy and charity and training more young people, learn how to spend money. You see, Bill Gates, when he was the CEO of Microsoft, he's handsome, good-looking, and no gray hair. When he became the spender money, gray hair came. It's more difficult spending money than making money. This is what I believe. Thank you for your question.
Another question?
Anybody at the microphone, you answer.
Yes?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have do I have a translation?
Sorry. Thank you very much for the speech. Marcus Knirk from Startup Bootcamp FinTech. You've been a startup yourself. You started a while ago with a small company. How do you tackle these days innovation? How do you actually overcome the challenge by being disrupted by new startups, take Alipay and payments? How do you actually work with new startups coming up and being challenged by new disruptors in your space?
Okay. Well, question is about a competition, right? There are more competitors. Well, I think if you want to do business, never worry about and don't worry about a competition. If you worry about a competition, don't do business. And I think competition is a great fun part of the business. It's not torturing. So when I see so many people try to compete with us, I feel excited. Just like if you're a great boxer, you need to have good competitors. And what we think is that today, because we're in China, because our focus is helping small business, because small business is so difficult to make money out of small business. I remember I got a great inspiration from the movie Forrest Gump. The Forrest Gump, one of the things they told me, is be simple and keep the dream, and mom's and life's like a box of chocolate, these things. But the business model I learned from Forrest Gump is about catch shrimps. Nobody make money by catching whales. People make money by catching shrimps. So if shrimp, they're tiny meat, how can you using technology to making sure that you have a patience? I see a lot of small startups, entrepreneurs, today, they want to make a quick money. They want to be successful very quick. For us, Alibaba was not founded yesterday. We were founded 16 years ago. In the past 16 years, there are so many attractions, so many great opportunities in online gaming and here and there. We say we focus on shrimps. We focus on helping. We don't care whether we make money or not today. But we believe if we keep on doing that for 10, 15 years, we will win. So when I see those people keep the dream for 10 years and do tiny things, and learn not from Bill Gates, not from Jack Ma, learn from the people next door who can do better jobs, these competitors are scary. And we do not afraid of those people who are looking for competition. We worry about people who care about the customers. So when people come here, we will win Taobao, we will win Amazon, we will win Alipay next day. I never worry about them. But those people come and say, I can do better customer experience. I can make the customer more powerful. These are the scary competitors. So spend more time on our customers rather than spend the time on the competitors. That's my belief. And helping others, help ourselves. Yeah. So.
Okay, the last question.
Yeah, sorry.
Mr. Ma, you talked about your COO and your CEO are women. What's the wisest thing you've learned about leadership from your women leaders?
Their loyalty. When tough day comes, now forgive me for all the men here, right? When tough day comes, men look out for new opportunities. Women listen. And also, second thing is that women endurance. And women, they, I would not say women not innovative. Our CEO of Ali Anti-Financing is a woman. Our chief people officer is a woman. And women, they listen. The world is changing from ordering to take order to listens. And I would say that when I have 10, 15 men in the office discussing something, we fight for 2 hours before we can get a conclusion. But if we put the 50% of women inside, things get easier, smooth, and fair, reasonable. And I would say that very, very important is that women look at the other people with appreciation. Men, sometimes, very competitive. That was that guy's going to take in place of me, or with his ideas better. Women really appreciate. So we were going to have a women entrepreneur conference tomorrow in China, in Hangzhou, my company. We will study more about women and share with you maybe next year, the year after next, what's the really secret sauce. I just got a feeling 49% of the women, of the employee in our company are women. 34% of senior management are women in our company. That is not, that is probably the, something that changed our company.
Thank you, Mr. Ma. If you don't mind, I'd like to accept one more question from the floor.
Okay.
Since the time allows. The last question?
So you will point which one? I don't want to. Okay. Yeah. Let's. Yeah.
More than 50% eventually. And in South Korea, there's a lot of excitement and also a bit of concern as to when Alibaba is coming to South Korea, Alipay is coming to South Korea, what's going to happen to the ecosystem here. I'm a direct beneficiary of living in Shanghai for 2 years. I've used Taobao, I've used Alipay, so I'm very familiar with it. But there's a lot of excitement and also scrambling of a lot of management here. How should we prepare? How should we work with Alibaba? So if you could shed light on that, that would be great.
Thank you very much. About globalization of the company. Well, people always ask, why you have such a strange name called Alibaba? We could have chosen a very Chinese name, internet name. But 16 years ago, I thought, if you want to be an internet company, you have to think about the world is a village. You have to serve the global. You have to serve the global customers. And the next 30 years, which I want to say is that if you want to be good, or if you want to survive, think about the world. Do not think of Norway, do not think of Philippines so far. Think about this is the village next door. Because you never visit your neighbor, you never visit Norway every day. But on the internet, they are the same. So, we're choosing Alibaba because this is a fantastic name with great vision. Open Sesame Online. And we want Open Sesame for small, medium-sized companies. So today we think about one thing, which I want to share with you, and I think we will fight for that. That is, the last 20 years, globalization is set for big companies. Big companies with resources, they go everywhere. They sell things, they buy things, they control the world. And I think the next 10, 20 years, the globalization should be globalization of the small, medium-sized companies. Every consumer can buy online within 72 hours, anywhere in the world, anything you want to buy. And all the small business can use the e-commerce and internet infrastructure to sell things to any part of the world. This is our strategy. We are not globalized Alibaba. We want to globalize e-commerce infrastructure. What is the best infrastructure of payment? What is the best logistics system? What is the best trust system that we could build up? Making sure the global small, medium-sized companies, making sure the consumers around the world can benefit from this new technology. And this is what we want to do. And also by the chance for Alibaba globalization, I believe China should and will become the most important import country in the world. China in the past 20 years exporting. Next 20 years, China will import a lot. By import to China, we think for Alibaba, we have more than 100 million people shopping our site every day. Next 10, 20 years, China will have 200 million people become middle class. And middle class people, they need good quality food and good services. And I don't think China can produce that. China is going to buy these things from all over the world. Using internet, we can transfer China from exporting to import and export balance. By using that, we are helping the world and helping China. By using that, we can build up the infrastructure for the global small, medium-sized companies to using a DT-based payment, using a DT-based logistics system, using a DT-based new civilization of business. Help others, help small business to grow. This is my answer. And I want Alibaba should not be a company 95% of the revenues from China. We think if 40% of the GMV of sales of Alibaba come from outside China, that means we will create at least another 40 million jobs for the world. And this is how we see the world, and this is why we're excited about the future. And this is something is going to be working together with the young generation. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ma, for sharing your insights through your speech and by answering the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him another big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, now the lunch will be served. And please note that the afternoon conference will start